Hey, y'all. Thank you so much for tuning into another What Else Is Going On podcast episode. I'm your girl, your host, Taria. Listen, I'm excited. For those of you that are watching, you can see the person that is on the screen. But if you're listening, I have the funny, hilarious, smart, will have you laughing out loud while also thinking at the same time, Mr. Alexander Rogers. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me and for such a lovely intro.
Listen.
I really appreciate it.
No, it is well earned. Y'all, listen. I met Alexander in passing at BravoCon after his iconic showing out at the panels. When I tell y'all, I was sitting in those audiences gagged, and the way he would just go up to the mic, no, like people would be like going on and on before they got to their question, and Alex just boom, dropped it, and that was it. When I tell you, I was living. And Kyle needs to thank him because he literally has been her storyline this season.
For at least a few, like, I'm looking forward to seeing her at BravoCon again. One, I hope Teddy's doing okay. She had 4 brain tumors.
Yes.
My God.
Yes.
So speedy recovery to Teddy. I want her well. I want her at BravoCon. You know, this is all fun and light shade for reality shows, first and foremost. But I was her plotline for 4 episodes.
So now you have to go back and when you ask your question, say, I just want to go ahead and give you another plot line for your next season.
So that way I can see myself next season, because I was like, wow. And they kept showing me. They've shown me on a reunion and on 2 episodes now.
Yes. For those of you who may be thinking, wait, I forget, or what did I miss? Alex, please remind the people of what you said to Kyle at the mic.
So I got up and I said, God, Kyle, why do you keep thrusting Teddy Mellencamp upon these women when they clearly don't like her? You seem to be trying to make fetch happen, and I just want to know why.
And he said it just like that, y'all.
And Garcelle said, I would like to know why too.
Yeah.
That every camera did not pick up, because we were there.
Yes, she did.
Like, the thing is, I wish that like they had gotten the whole cast, because Sutton and Garcelle were like, oh my God, Sutton was doing like this. We are not worthy. Thanking God, like somebody finally asked. And that's why Kyle was so incensed.
Yes, that Dorit didn't say. It was like, what? Are you kidding me? Yeah. And which I would think she would have been more upset with them for doing that than just sitting there saying nothing.
She could have said that, oh, well, she gets along with Erica and Teddy, or Erica and Dorit. And you know, she doesn't get along with those two, which is normal. She could have said, oh, well, production never gets their scenes. Like, there were a million things she could have done.
Right. But she just like, and then she like really went into defense mode. When I tell y'all, that moment again was iconic. And then you asked another question at another panel, because I remember seeing you walk up and I was
got
like,
all 3.
Yes.
Because I did Mia, and this is very appropriate. Yeah. I said, Mia, will you be able to keep your timeline of events straight this season? And Karen dropped the mic. Karen dropped the mic when I said that. Yes. And she and Candace high-fived and were laughing. Yes. And then with Toya, I asked her, are you going to be getting your real estate license, since you have so much experience living in the communities of the greater Atlanta area? You'd be great at selling homes. You've lived in every community they have.
Yeah, Alex, I'm telling you, you were an icon at those panels. And if I feel like at this point, they should actually hire you to come out and ask the questions that the people want to know, because the way you asked them, it was almost like if I was the person, there was shade in there somewhere, but it was so sweet. It was like the Southern, God bless your heart, you know?
Yes. I mean, I did a GoFundMe to get there. So I'm there on scholarship. So I have to make sure that the fans get their money's worth.
Alex, not scholarship.
Scholarship, honey. Work study. Work study.
Listen,
Work
I
study.
I got there last minute because shout out to a friend of mine, Jill. She had planned to go, but her husband had taken ill, who has since passed. So R.I.P. Dan. They were a lovely, lovely couple, like really beautiful. But she, at that time, they didn't know exactly what it was going to be. So she had bought Alex VIP tickets to, I was going to say excursions, but tickets to like the little
The
things
after
that you could,
show.
yes, that hotel room, and was like, here. Now, this is a white woman, and I'm saying this for a reason. She said, I want you to have the tickets because I feel like more Black content creators need to be there. And you know, you saw that there was very few of us.
I mean, it's impossible to get tickets. Like it is a 45, like we had our GoFundMe for like we got around 48.
Okay.
That's tickets and hotel and airfare.
Yeah, yeah. So
You have not eaten, you have not gotten dressed. We still, and then we're seeing people that we've been talking cash money shit about.
yes.
So we have to be dressed.
Yes.
You can't show up. And then also, like, you're being filmed, like, you can't show up looking like you on the egg money.
Listen, I was so like about my outfits. And then a friend of mine, shout out to Zell, she was like, girl, I would be stressed about them outfits. I'm like, I am. I'm like thinking so far, like, and especially because mine was last minute. I was like, okay. And then I'm a heels girl, but I was like, I know not heels because I'm gonna be walking. So it has to be a cute flat, not just, anything. So you're right. You have not eaten, dressed. Like you said, we're gonna be in these people's faces. So we gotta have, for the women, hair done. For y'all, the shape up or whatever, the lineup, your clothes need to be correct because then you will end up being read by one of them, and that's not going to happen.
Yes.
Are you going to go this year?
Yes. Yes.
I feel like we should come together and send a maybe not a press packet, but a demand letter to Bravo, letting them know that they send out more Black.
I honestly need to really ask them, like, hey, is there any way that I can host a panel? Like, I'm going to send something out,
Yes.
just to see if it's possible, because it's like, why not? I was already a plot line, and like, I will be remembered. Like, I'll be remembered, but there's also a level of, I may just want to be me again.
Got
and
you.
and like just wait to go ask my questions and do what I did last year. But everybody's gonna be like, oh, there he is again. And I can be like in my own thing.
Well, I feel like this then, okay, if they don't do panel, they need to have bring some of us out there and let us do coverage on our channels or on our podcast, up to date, up to the minute coverage from the Black, from a different perspective, shall we say? Because again, you saw there were not that many of us in the room.
There were not that many of us in the room, and like there were like it'll be an interesting mix to see who comes there this season.
Yes.
And also they have a small amount of tickets available.
That's right.
It really is like low key. It's like, who is this for? It's for wannabe talent and content creators.
That's true.
That is who's spending that kind of money to be there for 3 days.
You know what? You're right. That's true.
And they're looking for that with talent. They want talent with tenacity, because they pulled me and Chris into a room, and we and Chris got to meet Giselle, and we did a little B-roll footage that never made it to air.
That is so cool, though. Wow.
But because we were in some of the footage from last year's BravoCon.
Okay.
Some of their footage. And so because like we were asking questions, producers saw us and they pulled us, and we got to meet Karen and we got to meet Giselle.
Okay.
Because Karen was just coming out, and then we did a thing with Giselle, but we stood on business and said she wasn't shit. So that's why it never aired. Because she was like, well, I'm nice with my kids, right? And we're like, well, yeah, but with Rob Dixon, like I'm a real estate agent. If you had fucked up my open house, I would be like, what kind of friend is that?
Right. But wait a
So
minute.
we were like, we had examples where it's like nobody was mean or nasty. We're just like, you did this on television.
Yes.
We'd like to talk about it
You
in a calm, respectful manner, really as fans, but we're talking about your piss poor behavior. And while we're talking about Giselle,
come on. Your video today.
Girl, I'm so glad. Oh God, this is the best time for this episode because everything is leftover warm right now. It's because we've got like cooking hot was yesterday and today. But now the leftovers are warm. The flavors set in.
It's like spaghetti, like 2-day-old spaghetti to me. When girl.
Now I miss my mother, which is rare.
Alex. Oh my God. Not which is rare. Okay. I am not, you will not have me crying on this here thing laughing. Okay.
Oh,
look, I got my tissue just in case.
You can't miss somebody when you're always on the phone with them.
Yeah. That's true.
Girl, my mother is a very smart woman.
Okay.
But she is also just a mom.
Yeah, okay.
And the fires are in Los Angeles. Now I live in San Francisco. Thank you. You already know where we're going. Girl, it's a smooth 800 miles. It's like California's several different states. Baby, that's like being concerned about a fire when I'm in New York and you in North Carolina.
Yes.
Like, honey, I'm fine. I am fine. I promise you. I mean, really, she's like, are you sure? It seems to be moving pretty quick. I'm like, honey, if fire is moving that fast, we got bigger fish to fry.
We got bigger fish. Right.
Not much we can do. I had another moment like that years ago. I was in Las Vegas and they had fires. And my dad was like, are you okay? I hear there are fires. And I was like, no, hold on. You went to the University of Reno, right? Right. That's where you got your doctorate, right? Right. So, honey, if the rocks are on fire, we've got bigger fish to fry.
Right. They just,
and let me tell you, I'm in Las Vegas. Ain't nothing but desert out here. Ain't shit to burn.
Nothing. I try not to be that parent, Alex, okay? Because I feel like I'm a young parent, even though I have a 27-year-old, my son just graduated college, and then my youngest is in her 3rd year of college. So I try not to be those parents, and I make sure that I'm on the up and up, like with the stuff going on. So, but I knew as soon as you said the California fires and where you already knew, your mom was like, are you sure? I see this, watching the news as though you're not right there, out there. Yes.
I'm like, I know you took geography.
Like, come on,
you
Mom.
have access to Google Maps.
Yeah.
Come on,
I get it. And
you have my address.
My mom would have been the same way.
Far.
Yeah. My mom would have been
from the fires. I'm quite far, but just I have realized now with Karen being gone,
okay,
Potomac is on its back foot because of Giselle. The show is about to be in a bad space because of Giselle. Now we've missed Monique's divorce, which we could have had, but we missed it because of Giselle. We missed Candace's birth because of Giselle. And now the past 3 seasons have been ruined, especially for the rewatch and the replay because of Mia's lies. Because now this season is going to be going down in history as one of the most inauthentic and disgusting seasons. We can do inauthentic with Kenya Moore and Walter renting a boo for a season, especially for your first. It's okay. And actually, I talked to Kempire when he was on Pop Roast, and I said, I think that this was to save her husband's ego. Yeah. Because if he's as rich and powerful as you claim, I would be seen with his sissy to not fuck up my alimony as well. I would be seen.
That was a good point.
Proud sissy.
Yeah.
a haunches. I mean, girl, I'm like, I know I can't remember what bathhouse I've seen you at, but I could pick your whole out of a lineup. I could pick your whole out of a lineup. I may not have fucked you, but I know people who have. Asshole out here whistling. I can tell your asshole can whistle Dixie.
Alex. Not you whistling.
Look away, look away, look away.
Look, oh my gosh. But that was a good point that you made. I did not think about that. Y'all, if y'all have not watched the episode of Pop Roast with Alex, Chris, and Kempire, please do. I watched it twice. And Alex was saying that he believes basically Stacey brought TJ on because she was going through a divorce and she didn't want him to think that she was really trying to move on, basically not messing up the money she could get.
Yeah, because he could get mad. She knows him better than we do.
You're right. And at Kempire's show in DC, she said, somebody asked, Kempire actually addressed the rumors about her knowing that she was going to get a divorce, like basically lying to the producers, portraying like I'm in a marriage, knowing that you were going to get a divorce just so you can get on the show, and then turning around and like, boom, now I'm going through a divorce. She said no. She said the producers knew, and there were times when she was filming that he was in the house. He was just in a different room. So the producers she said the producers know what's going on. But when I think back, she still didn't answer the question. He said, did you basically pretend that you were still going to be, that you were present a life of you being married, you have this child, knowing you were going through a divorce only to get on the show and change it? She didn't say no. What she said was, the producers know what's going on. Yeah, after you got the job, because they're in your house. I just thought about that.
I think they knew prior, because coming on to this show, getting a divorce is pretty normal.
Yeah, yes. And I don't think it would, but I guess from the aspect of, the rumor about her supposedly leaking her coming on. So maybe she was trying to get a little incentive, I guess, to make sure they would pick her. But like you said, it does, you don't have to be a housewife, and getting a divorce is normal. So that would actually, I would think that would make them want you even more. Oh, this rich.
Exactly. It's like we've got a woman at the ending stage of her marriage, and now she's about, we've got a woman at a new stage of life, which is what we're having with a lot of Beverly Hills. But yes. Back to Brissy. Oh, because she has done so much with casting, because she chased off Monique, because she chased off Candace, and because she because of her colorist ways, she promoted Mia to be on the show, who's now lowered the brand. And because Mia and her were so against Wendy, they offered Wendy a longer contract to make it look like they weren't being colorist. Wow. I feel like Wendy's contract is an anti-litigation contract. Same reason they gave Kay a contract. Look, we're gonna have to pay you in court, or we could just give you a check. I'll go on and give you a check right now. You ain't gotta fight for it. Here you go. Otherwise, the chance of them going to court like that, who would want it?
Yes.
Who would want it? Like Candy Burris. It's like, ooh, I done stepped in it too deep. Here you go. I ain't even gonna hold you.
Right. You can
I'm gonna shut you up real quick.
People have said that about, okay, so that's interesting. So you feel too that Kay basically, because we all heard friend of, all of a sudden she's offered a full-time contract at the end. Or towards the end, which then they have to try to shove in these personal scenes, which was so obvious. Do you feel it was because of the litigation? Like she's already had litigation against Sesame Street, and it could possibly be coming our way.
Exactly. She got a lawyer on payroll with a legitimate case. Don't nobody want to mess with that business.
Okay, so just bring her on. Okay, so
you're gonna have to pay her anyway. May as well get something out of it.
Right.
Because when you pay her the legal route, you don't get anything.
That's true. You versus having her on the show. Well, I think that Kay did a Portia Williams season 5 reunion. Remember when Andy said that they weren't going to bring Portia back, but then at the reunion, she saved herself. Cordell is not perfect by far. We see that Kay has had more than 2 lines this second part of the reunion. She was actually kind of digging into Mia's behind. So I said, oh, she's trying to save that job.
I think it's too little, too late.
You think it's too late?
Her and Greg. Greg isn't it. And I'm also going to say this. I don't like how she's trying to say he's stifling you. No, baby, he just don't want to be on TV. You cannot, it is too much.
Thank you, Alex.
To ask any human being. Like, I realize, like, being a comedian, I realize whoever I date, they're going to have to deal with, oh, I have a person that is in the public eye, and there are certain things that go along. I realize that is something to ask someone.
Yeah.
That can be something to ask of someone where it's like, I don't really do the public thing. If somebody doesn't want to be a public person, it's a lot to ask them to be like, oh, but I want to do this now. And it's like, and two, it's not even like, I can at least say I have a talent. You're going on a reality where you just showing your business and your relationship. I don't do, like, I talk about what's on television and pop culture. I don't really talk about my life.
Right.
And so that way my partner would know, like, that's not what's going to really be discussed.
The center versus her, what, like you said, her job is that it's dependent upon you sharing your personal life and then wanting drama. What you got in them 2 cups?
Oh, this is black coffee and this is water to wash it down.
Oh, okay. I was like, oh, what you got? What you got? Okay.
No, I stopped drinking around New Year's.
Really?
I'm trying to wait.
Okay, I was just going to ask you, is it for a certain time frame? Are you fasting from alcohol, or so you're just trying to lose weight? Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm gonna do 4 months.
Wow. So so around New Year's, so you around April, May-ish.
Yeah, so May I should be able to have a little champagne, but I just a good 4 months.
Okay.
You know, we've done 2 months and it's like, okay, I like this. You know, but yeah, the weight.
It comes. Do you feel differently? Like, do you notice a difference? Like, as far as in your body? Because some people say, not that they drink like for heavy drinkers, but like when they stop drinking, they notice maybe their skin is clear, maybe they're not as bloated, maybe drinking was causing like a gastrointestinal issue or anything like that.
I've done like the complete swing. So now I drink a lot of coffee. I've also gone like kind of vegan. So yes, I do look better.
Okay.
But it's like I'm drinking 4 veggie smoothies a day.
Okay.
Like,
wow.
I'm going to the gym like every other day. Like, I'm really putting in the effort.
Okay.
So all those things together, yes, my eyes are clearer. My skin is better. I quit 3 months ago. So
congratulations.
So yeah, so like a early 40s tune-up.
Okay.
That's what it is. An early 40s tune-up.
I like that. I'm going to use that. I like that. Mine is going to be a late 40s before I get 50 tune-up. That's what I'm doing. Like a little tune-up. So I like that. Okay, so back to gutters. I mean,
yes. Gutter snipe.
Your gutter snipe from the hood. I love the way
right up out the hood.
I did feel like
nasty gutter snipe right up out the hood.
Neffy got up so fast. You're not going to be talking to me like that. For those of y'all that don't know, we're talking about Ayanla Fix My Life when she called Keisha Cole's sister a gutter snipe straight up out the hood. Oh, there are times when I just randomly go back and watch scenes from that unhinged show because looking back, it's like, wow.
Pop my butt. Pop my butt. Do you know what that used to mean? Wait, what did she say?
Tell Sojourner.
Harriet Tubman. Harriet Tubman. Whip.
And then when she said, tell it to Sojourner.
Yes, say it to Sojourner Truth.
That was one of my all-time favorite episodes. When I tell you, I watched that over and over again. I had my husband watch it. I had my kids watch it. I would cry laughing. And the way Hazel E was, y'all were talking about the episode of Ayanla Fix My Life with Hazel E. The way she was reading it, pop my butt, pop my butt. Ayanla made her read one of her raps to Sojourner Truth, Harriet Tubman. It was so wild. Now you're going to make me go back and watch that clip after we're done. Oh my God. Okay, so back to the gutter snipe. Now, there are people who say, listen, I've seen a lot of comments lately about Giselle, like, oh, I can't believe I'm liking her again. And in the beginning, she was one of my faves. What turned for me was when I noticed the icing out and the I'm running the ship. I'm the head soror in charge on the yard at the at the HBCU. Like, I'm big sister, run this show. I didn't like that. And the fact that she would ice again, make an effort to ice people out. And then she would lie. It was like we'd see you in lies. Even this last reunion, when they brought up the whole Eddie, Ashley saying things about Eddie, and Ashley was like, oh, I just brought basically from the blogs. And Andy says, I thought Giselle did that. And Giselle says, I took the blame. Giselle, you were in the season 6 trailer in a yellow sweater, meeting with Ashley, bringing up the rumors. Then you went to her sweat box. Shout out to Karen Huger, RIP Karen Huger on the Housewives. And you brought it up again so Ashley and her breast milk could travel 4 hours to deliver. And the clip that they used was Ashley saying, Giselle told me. So, like, I was like, Bravo was even protecting her in that aspect, because Giselle did, in fact, bring the rumor to television. Like, it was just frustrating.
I don't know who in production is protecting her or why, but they will not let her go.
And they will never do to me, even them, I know that they only have so much of an episode they could show. People didn't believe, for me, I'll speak for me personally, the whole Giselle and Wendy of it all, because you spent almost 3 years coming, like, icing out this lady, and now all of a sudden you're having lunch. We only see 15 minutes of it. Where's the other? I would rather have seen that, than Karen yelling about her being vindicated. Love you, Ray. God's got you. God bless you. In case y'all don't know, that's what she said when she was leaving.
Oh, God.
What? If y'all go check out Alex's video, if you haven't already, about Giselle being a gutter snipe today. What do you think about the Potomac season overall? The season and then the reunion. I'll say it that way. Uh-oh.
I mean, we have to be really honest right now. Karen's jail sentence change it. You know what? I will say this. This is really interesting. Did you watch New York?
Yes.
Okay, good. So I'm glad I didn't suffer alone. I ask because I feel like New York and this season are both seasons in retrospective.
Okay.
Because so much has happened at the end that we found out, we look back at it differently. I feel very like dead ass, like, because I was expecting Karen to get a 30-day slap on the wrist, it to be her second DUI, and for that to be that, maybe her third. But at 60, if you got one in your 20s or your 30s, I give a pass.
Yeah.
You know what? You can get one every 25 years. Because 25 years ago, they didn't have no Uber, no Lyft. They didn't have seatbelts.
Yep.
They didn't have me. So.
Right. They didn't have any of that. Right.
So, it's like, I can give space and grace, but girl, four, it makes it so much more serious. We're like, this isn't funny. This is gross. This is privilege. This is your ass should be like, why didn't they take your license at the third one? And then it's, you could have hurt someone. You could have hurt yourself.
Yep.
It makes me say, and now so many people have been rushing to say, redemption, Karen's redemption, Karen redemption, Karen redemption. No.
Yes.
And here's why I'm going to say a firm Negroid no. We all loved Girls Trip. Girls Trip may never come back because of Brandy Glanville and the accusations.
Yeah.
We believe victims. We don't know what happened. But it's really interesting when the whole bunch of other women that were there say, China, that ain't what happened. Y'all was kissing cousins in the bathroom.
Yes.
But hey, I'm just saying what the women was there said.
Yeah.
I'm going with Caroline. but that shit ain't never gonna see the light of day. If Karen gets out here for her 5th DUI and you got 4th, I don't know if jail really gonna stop you. She hit somebody this time, that could ruin the franchise.
Yeah, it really could, because they have a responsibility as well. And I've been seeing so many people say Karen deserves grace. I don't understand what people aren't get. Like, Karen can still get grace. We're not saying she needs to be unalived. We're not saying she needs to be off the face of the earth. But for what I think about the people who have lost people due to DUI, and this woman, when the judge, Alex, when I was in that courtroom, you could, like, the judge, he could have really went either way when he was listening to Karen, when he was listening to the prosecutor. But as soon as he started talking, I literally said to the person next, like, she's going to jail. He was like, how many times has she driven drunk on our roads? Meaning, you've got 4, but those are the 4 times you've been caught. If you've done it like this much, you've done it and just haven't gotten caught. And also, well, think about this. He said, and what he said, Karen, from 2011, before 2011, Karen got the hang of playing the system. In my mind, I looked at that like either Karen knows somebody or was paying somebody, because then he got upset. He said, I'm sure it costs you a lot of money with the fines and all that. So you want me to give you probation? So how much should I make this fine? How much is going to stop you from driving again and not getting a 5th one? And I said, I feel like he thought she was thumbing her nose about the court while also questioning, in his mind, she didn't got 3 of these. And they were downgraded, walked away with a fine. That's not normally heard of. So who did you know in the system? Or who did you pay?
She knew somebody, she paid somebody, had a friend that was a judge.
Something.
And it slipped under the radar. And, wealthy Black community, wealthy Black woman, maybe the show somebody wanted to be on. I mean, you never know who people know.
But that,
he could have come and spoke at a woman's group.
Well, you know what? It's towns that are very political. That is how it works. You do me this favor, I'll do you your favor. And the crazy thing is, her previous DUIs,
that all 3 of them, Surrey County could have come into play.
Say that again.
That land in Surrey County could have come into play. You never know.
You don't know.
You're right. You never know.
I know somebody who used to work for a district in a state, I'll just say, not to give too much away. And when they explained to me just how political, even down to like the school board, like, you do this for me, I'll do that for you. So of course, and then I have a friend who has a paralegal company, and she knows I used to want to be a lawyer. Like, growing up, I wanted to be a lawyer, then it switched to broadcast journalism. And she would tell me, I would say, let me go down to the law library with you. And she would say, girl, there is no justice. If you got inside the law, you might not like the law anymore, because of it was very political. Like, I'll wash the hands of this judge, and they got me. But I think that Karen took this to trial because, think about it, her other 3 driving while drunk offenses were before she was famous, in quotes, and she was able to get out of it. So she had to be thinking, I'm famous now. So I think she thought she was really going to get out of this 4th one. Like, I think she thought she was going to get another slap on the wrist because she had, a personality now, a persona, Say it. Say it. This is free.
I think she was drunk this entire time, because that is the only way on God's green, beautiful earth to explain why that footage saw the light of day. Because I'm sorry, I'm trying to think of what I wouldn't do to keep footage like that off the internet in perpetuity. I don't think there's a penis I wouldn't put in my mouth. I really don't. That's when them knees get so, because Jesus Christ, that's life ruining. And then the fact that you have bitches like Giselle and Ashley, those kind of bitches, in the words of Phaedra. Now that's when you need to use the words Those kind of bitches. And then the grand high spider, Charisse, that tarantula, with her nest of wigs, with her flammable collection of wigs, those flammable hats.
She should be ashamed of herself for as much money as she got.
With that collection of petroleum chemicals she puts on her head. Then when you get dementia, she's gonna wonder why.
Yeah.
Because you're wearing petroleum jelly as a wig.
Them wigs, and in the words of shout out to our girl Brooke Ashley, them Hanes t-shirts that she be wearing. Shout out to Brooke. But yeah,
you got heifers like them just
waiting. Because
you go on and say, you know what, I'm gonna fall on my sword. I'm gonna go into rehab because they will never see this footage.
Yes, you do whatever you have to do.
And then the thing is, the second you go into rehab now, nobody can say anything because you've admitted you have a problem.
Right.
Anybody that makes fun of somebody with a problem is a shithead.
Yeah.
It's very easy to be like, oh, well, that speaks much more poorly about you than it does about me trying to get myself better.
Yep, because I admitted that I've had a problem. But that is a good point. You said she was probably drunk the whole time. Yeah, I don't know what she was thinking. And for me personally, and I'll keep saying this, being in that courtroom, listening to her new attorney talk and then listening to Karen, it was more about, and I know you're fighting for your life, right? Because you jail time, so you're going to mention all the things you did, but it still felt more like self-promotion than self-accountability.
She didn't realize you know what? She planned for this like a reunion and it was a court sentencing. The judges know, and this is not the court of public opinion.
You're right.
Way, baby. Honestly, being a real housewife right now is the worst thing you would ever want to be because you are looked at as a frivolous celebrity who can be made an example of.
Yes.
I'll be right back.
Okay. But you're right. They look at you like a frivolous celebrity. And I think when we look at how the prosecution was only asking for 6 months and the judge was like, no, 2 years, 1 suspended, he could have given her 6 months. I was listening to someone and I forget who it was. And I'm so sorry if you're listening to this because I like to cite, as Ken Fire says, cite sources, give people their credit. But somebody said the judge, if he had given the 6 months that the prosecution asked for, he knew there was a chance she would do maybe 3. So he wanted her to do some substantial time, which is why he said 1 year, at least 1, because even if that gets knocked down by 3 months, she'll at least do a substantial amount of time.
Yeah. The judge said that liver's going to get a rest.
And he made the comment, he said, the court will not take into account your celebrity status or your inane statements on that body cam. He was Alex.
Not inane.
Yes. So
sounds like he watches my show.
So like you said, she prepared for a reunion and not a sentencing. That is so good. That is really good. She had the 613 hair in. but it wasn't that one. It was a different one. It was a short little, it was a lob. So she looks good. And I said, Ray is surprisingly, Ray was getting around. Okay. He's shorter than I thought, but he can move. I said, Ray might be with them mermaids while she's gone.
Ray is getting rid of that rental house. He is moving down to Florida. And he may really tell her, like, this is it. This is it. Or I'm going to divorce you and take your money.
Right. Or we're going to live separate lives, but like we're together, but separate. Wow. Do you see them, in your professional opinion, you've been doing this a while, you know these shows. Do you see them waiting for Karen like they did Teresa? Or do you see them filming the ladies and the reactions and making that season about her and then her coming? Do you see them letting her come back and then making the next season about her? Does Karen hold that weight with Potomac?
I don't think she holds that weight. I don't think the story is that interesting. I don't think we are where we are as a people, where we were as forgiving of Teresa as we would. I don't think we would forgive Teresa today.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's a good. Why do you think
But
that?
also, Teresa was able to blame that husband.
Yeah.
Karen can't blame anybody. So that's the thing. Teresa was kind of dragged to prison, if that's what you want to believe. Do I believe it? No, I believe that white bitch deserved every ounce of time she got and need to do somebody else's time. That she needs to be in prison right now and put that gorilla she married to in prison along with the other gorilla she was married to in prison. They can all up under the jail.
Okay. So but outside of that, but at least she brought a lot to Jersey. So you're saying with Karen, she don't bring what
Karen
Teresa brought.
ain't
No.
never. Girl, she couldn't pack that much up in a moving truck. Karen ain't got that much shit in her house.
So yeah, I'm thinking they're gonna film without her too. Like,
I mean, Teresa said she grew up on the show. She got married on the show. She had a baby on the show. She died on the show. Teresa done everything on that
the show. Was reborn on the show.
We didn't have a funeral. We didn't have Teresa's funeral on the day. Oh.
You're right. So we
hadn't been through the afterlife with her ass.
With her,
but in a way, I mean, you know, Carlos handed her the book, and Lord, did she run. So
sure did. What did he say? He crawled up under the table.
Can I say that is just par for the course for what he is. Someone crawling under the table.
Let's just say this. You know, Kempire and I did the Carlos King expose, if you will, right?
Yes.
So clearly things were being said on Twitter maybe a couple of days later. And then I'll just say, I got an interesting offer yesterday in my DMs to be on a podcast yesterday.
Whose podcast? Carlos King's podcast? He asked you to be on his...
Somebody reached out on his behalf.
To be on his podcast.
I'm
surprised he hasn't asked me to be on yet. if he's gonna... No, I'm sorry. If you're gonna go toe to toe, why not come to the person that's been on your ass for the past 2 years?
I'm going to tell you why. Because I'm a Black woman who sat on did an expose about how he treated other Black women. So how good would it look to have that same Black woman now sitting on his platform kikiing about Karen Huger? Because that's the reason I know that's the reason. So that would in essence, then people would be looking like, wait, she just did that, but oh, well, he must be okay. It must not be what it is. Because I'm not stupid. I know that's the reason. And so you can also get the Karen Huger, you know, information yesterday, right then. That's why, Alex. Because to me, if it was I want to hop on with you and clear my name, that's something different. But that's not what you wanted. You wanted, I would look crazy after that you saw that with Kempire. How crazy would I look sitting up there on it, not addressing it, kikiing about Karen Huger? Like, absolutely not. So, yeah, I didn't see it.
I am not surprised.
Yeah, but to me, that also just lets you know that some people are willing to do whatever for whatever, you know, like, But yeah, I don't know. Carlos King gave Teresa that book under that table, and she ran with it, and she's been running ever since. Would the church say, if anybody asks you where I'm going, no, I'm running for my life, or one of those songs out there. How do you feel about, I have two questions. How do you feel about Stacey so far? And if we find out that Stacey, in fact, did pay TJ to be her storyline, would that be something that would make you say she's not authentic? I don't want her back because she's already coming in that way? Or would you say, okay, we'll give her a pass. Let's give her another season?
I like Stacey enough to give her a second season.
Me too.
I feel like, okay, when you come on these shows, your first season is always hard. and a bought a man plot line when you're going through a divorce. Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, yeah.
That's it was you hired somebody interesting enough where I'm like, why get a gay man to pretend to be heterosexual that's not good at it? Now I know some gays that can fool you, honey, fooling wise, but you didn't get one of those. You got an obvious bottom. Why? And I think you
Why?
did that for your husband and because it would be interesting and keep people talking about you without you having to do too much or be too much of an asshole. Because Kenya Moore came on and all she can give is asshole.
Yes. And I said Stacey was willing. She wanted this so bad. And she was willing to put a man like TJ, who was constantly dogging her on camera, knowing she'd be the topic of conversation with viewers and with watchers, because she knows how we've been in the Housewives game too long to not know how it works.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you realize, oh, this is going to make me a fan favorite. Oh, oh, poor me. She's with this guy and she doesn't know that he likes men and he's treating her poorly. Yeah. Oh, poor Stacey. We like her. Yeah.
Okay.
It was a great way to pluck on some sympathy.
And have your name pulled up in every episode without you even being around all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you think that Wendy or Ashley is creating a beef with Wendy? Because, we saw what happened at the reunion, the back and forth with her and Eddie. Then she's been recently doing interviews talking about basically how Wendy can suck it when she's upset because Wendy talked about Josh. Do you think that's a beef being created for next season?
Ashley needs to worry about creating a stable home for her children before she creates with Wendy.
Come on.
That's what Ashley needs to create. A stable home for her children, generational wealth, a place for her mother to live that actually has walls and not canvas. Because I hear your mother and her partner are still shacked up in someone's Georgia tent awning. Are they under an overpass or is it under a bridge? Because there is a difference.
Oh my God.
They're probably in Ashley's damn backyard.
There's a part of me that feels like if you go back and watch Ashley toasting to her divorce almost being final, that there was like a look of fear in Sheila's eyes. Because I feel like she was encouraging Ashley for a long time to stay with him.
Yes, 100%. Just like Reba. What's going to happen to me?
Yeah, yes. What's going to happen to me? You're right. Right. Yep. I just, Ashley got the weight of her family on her back, child. That's why she's been on her back.
Now she needs to shake those sloths off.
And keep it moving.
They ain't got shit for girl. Drop that mama off at the nearest Medicaid office and tell her you better go for what you know. Hear me all these years. Go in there and see what your smile will get you.
Not go for what you know. Listen,
go for what you know.
Sheila was too excited.
Scam.
Mia, do you want Mia to come back?
But that would imply that she was here. I don't know who is here. Is her name Mia?
Yeah.
Is her name? Because if we find out this woman is charged and her name is Penelope Conyers, I'm not gonna be shocked.
Right, because
I don't know who Mia is. Who?
And that's another thing. It's one thing. We say we want authenticity. We say we want the story. If I believed, Mia believed this whole paternity thing and you wanted to share it, may not be something I would share about my family, but if we felt it was authentic, that would be one thing. But you knew that wasn't the case. That this would, like, I agreed with Giselle. Like, Giselle was eating her in that reunion. I agreed with her. Like, if the public had not have turned on you, you would have just kept going with this story.
And so would Gordon, and so would Ink, and so would the kid, because they were all they decided to be a troupe of actors.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, this is not Ryan Murphy. That's Three Doors Down.
Yes.
That's a different sound set, babe.
Yeah.
So no, Mia, you lied. And the thing is, you lied, your husband lied. You've got Jacqueline. And Jacqueline,
Did you catch at the reunion when they asked her, when she said the father has not been on the show, and Ashley said, was he at the rap party? And she said, to be continued, stay tuned. I said, where? Because not on these Bravo cameras.
yeah, Giselle said, oh, I don't think so. Giselle acted like she had a contract to give out.
Yes,
Giselle acted like she had a production company that was filming. I'm like, don't you see, that's the problem. You act like you're in control.
Because the network has made her think she is. And I think going back to what we were saying before about Giselle, that is what, when Andy said to her and Wendy, it must be great. Basically, I'm paraphrasing, but basically everything being lighter and you being able to move on. Giselle was the one that was holding them all up. She was the one that was icing Wendy and Candace. So to now be like, oh, aren't you happy that it's lighter? Well, yeah, because y'all had to talk with her clearly and told her that she had to move on, make nice.
Now, and didn't have Rob to fall back on.
If Karen, okay, let's just say Karen does 3 months and she jumps in filming, or she doesn't film at all this season. She comes back for season 11. Would you, because I've seen this discussion, would you want Robin back because you know that she is going to, the look on your face already, because she's going to ride Karen's behind. Like
this
Karen
is why I am so angry.
Because the look on your face.
Because this is not a moment for Giselle to kick up her fat ankles because Karen is on her back foot. Both of you still ain't shit. Rob, where's Juan?
Where's Juan?
Juan is nose deep in another woman's pussy right now. Okay. Right now. Right now.
I'm clutching my pearls.
Tell me what Juan's breath smells like. It ain't Juan, it ain't Robin. I can tell you that. He is with a new woman at a laundromat. Baby, that's devotion. When do a man go to a laundromat? When he is strong. When he is in not love, but love. He has moved on. Yeah. You are roommates, raising children by yourself, but you won't show that reality. So just because Karen got hauled off because she has an addiction issue, you were conscious when you weren't shit. At least Karen was drunk. At least Karen has an excuse. You're a boring piece of shit sober. Fuck you, Robin. Fuck you. See, and Charisse as well. She don't need to come back either. See, this is the thing. Giselle's going to act like this is a moment to reintroduce the Gorgons of hate and malice. I don't think so.
Oh, okay. Y'all, Alex just gave a read. I knew I was going to get one.
I really like it's, I can't. I know this is a rewrite history moment where they were right about, y'all was right about one little thing.
Okay.
It still don't mean you're interesting enough to come back on the show. Rob, you still lied and hid your storyline behind a paywall with Giselle. And also just all of it. The whole season you lied. No, you need to stay off with Mia.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I like that point that you made. Just because you were right on this particular point doesn't mean you're interesting enough, because there will come a point in the season where the audience will get tired of it. Because think about with Beverly Hills, the audience was liking the Dorit versus Kyle in the beginning. And then after it went on week after week after week, the audience was like, move on. We need something else. So if Charisse and Karen were to come back, Charisse and Robin were to come back, even if Karen were back with them, eventually we'd be like, all right, y'all done dug in her throat, move on. What else do we have? Like Wendy said, if you take that out, what else? So that's a very good point. That still doesn't mean you're interesting enough to come back.
Because y'all didn't have storyline to first. And quiet as it's kept, this is why I say Giselle has ruined Potomac and the show is on its back foot, because because New York was such a bad reboot, it has changed the way the shows will be rebooted. Because they can never do a full reboot ever. You can never do a full reboot again, but the show kind of like, we can keep Wendy.
I think, yeah.
I mean, if they could, like, if you could get rid of Giselle, we could bring back Candace and they could lead the show.
Yeah, I think so too.
And then you could give Kay another season, but she ain't gonna give you shit. Kay ain't got it to give. She doesn't have it to give.
Give her friend. I was friend of, like,
Jazzy.
I want to see what we could get from her.
I was gonna say some NFL money.
Yeah.
Some NFL money. At least you got a husband and a wedding.
Yeah, and she's got family money too. When I listened to her, I did a couple months ago, I listened to her on Carlos's podcast because I wanted to see what she had to say, because that was when the whole baby mama dropped, like the baby mama was doing interviews. And the mother of Darius's children, was doing interviews, and then Jazzy did an interview. Evidently, her family has like some money that goes back. It reminded me of a Candace, and I was like, okay, I would love to see what we could get from her.
Oh, that would be interesting, but I would say, like, Giselle, you run the show too much, where I would also love to have 2 new women that would only come on if Giselle was gone. And we are now at the place in Potomac where you know good and damn well there are some women that are waiting in the wings.
Yes. Yeah.
And as soon as Giselle leaves, they like, I would come on, but I'm not going to deal with that.
Yeah. Yeah. Because she's been, it's almost like the Jersey effect, where Teresa was allowed to run the show for so long. Because I remember that reunion when her and Jackie were going back and forth. It was either Jackie's first season or maybe second. And Jackie made the comment, like, I'm not afraid of you or something, and referenced other women going against Teresa. And Teresa's like, and where are they? They're not here. And I was like, oh, okay. So here we are. And it reminds me of Potomac with Giselle. Listen, if we're not going to, if all we're going to get is producing, like, I don't like to, there are some housewives that are good at producing and we know it, but they're so good at it. It's like seamless. I don't want to feel like I'm watching my housewife walk up to a time clock, punch the card, and go to work. That's not, in my mind, the group of women Potomac has on now, they would not hang out with each other in real life.
They would not. They do not. And the fact that there is nothing authentic, like, that's why Potomac, and I'm going to say it on a Black podcast. I'm going to say it because I cover both. I cover Black Bravo and White Bravo.
Yep.
This is why, and it's okay for us to say this because we're learning from this.
Yes.
OC runs circles around Potomac because those ladies have authentic relationships off camera.
Yes.
Y'all, I will say, now, you know what I will say? Rob and Giselle, that authentic relationship off camera, and it's turned into the successful podcast.
Yeah.
That's what we need more of. But you see, you two being friends and hating everyone else isn't interesting. If y'all two just decided to be friends with the other women and because they're not bad people.
No,
like,
yeah.
You can find I could spend an enjoyable afternoon with all of them. Just certain things you don't talk about.
I agree, because I'm in, like, I'll give it to, like, Giselle has been, she's not always wrong. Like, even like she was clocking me at this reunion. She was very much so, like you said, they're not bad people. And there are certain things that I could find enjoyable in each of them. You're right.
And if they did more of that rather than just being hateful all the time, when y'all were bitchy, it would be interesting.
Right.
Because it's like, oh, okay, it's the Tower of Terror. You've activated them, but you can't always be on 10. Like, as gay men, we can't always be snapping and popping and reading and running. It's like, girl, ain't nobody on 10 like that all the time. It's exhausting.
Yeah. Right. Speaking of, I thought about the earlier seasons of Potomac that we enjoyed, right? And it just dawned on and it just dawned on me. Giselle wearing that free Uncle Ben t-shirt.
See, no, that's the thing. That's perfect. But you only pull that out occasionally.
Yes.
Like Erykah Badu, she named that album Mama's Gun. Because Mama didn't pull out the gun all the time.
Just occasionally.
But you knew she had it in the closet, in the shoebox in the back, if things were serious.
If she needed to. Will she pull it out and it say free Karen Huger as a stunt coming into season?
It's going to be, this is going to be an interesting conversation for the Bravo brass.
Okay. Yeah.
I feel like this is now a network conversation, because we have to realize, like, we still have some litigation with that one girl from New York. The reality reckoning has kind of died down.
Oh, yes.
But there's still a bit of litigation out there.
Yeah.
There's litigation with the girls trip and Carolyn Manzo. And so there's still like the looming legal consequences of these ladies' bad behavior on alcohol and a workplace environment that requires you to be drunk.
Yeah.
So I feel like because of that, it's a brass conversation. And I would say, I don't want them talking about Karen next season.
Okay. Oh, okay.
I would say, because one, we're not going to be, you're never going to be able to say, oh, y'all were making fun of me on the show and made my problem worse. We're not going to make fun of people who have issues, because now it's an issue. It's an addiction. And you admitted it. So now it's like, okay, you have an addiction. We're not going to make fun of that. So then what does Giselle have to say?
Right. I didn't even think about that.
She ain't got shit going on in her own life. So if all you can do is make fun of Karen, but if the Bravo brass says that's not what the advertisers want. And also remember, there are advertisers that are true. Who Andy Cohen don't run shit. Right. Andy Cohen don't run shit. Andy Cohen is middle management. The true people that are in control are the head of the Procter and Gamble media man.
Okay.
The Unilever media man. The people who do all the ad buys.
Okay.
The people who decide how much the budget is, because this is how much they're spending this quarter. That is who is in charge. That is who writes the checks. That's who's in charge. They are going to decide what they want to see on Bravo and what they're willing to pay to see.
That is a good.
Make that decision.
That is a good point. I didn't even think about that. Them talking about how that could be turned around, basically again, like into a negative. Them talking about her. I did not even think about that.
That's a big brass and we need to check in with our advertisers. Because I know the advertisers are also watching. Girl, remember, Lord. The sorority sisters.
The show.
On VH1.
Yes, I do.
Girl.
I watch.
I have never said, I won't even say sorority or fraternity on my channel. Y'all got that shit off TV so fast. I won't say sorority or I leave them Greek people alone.
It was off so fast. I remember watching that. They got into that fight and it was a wrap.
They dumped the episode. They put all of them on one night.
Yes.
And then they even had to have a reunion to try to stop the hate that was coming into them. They went off.
I remember that. And now it's like there was one point I remember somebody online, I cannot remember when it was, saying that they were looking for episodes and couldn't find them. I said, I don't know if you will. I don't know if you will.
I don't think anybody is ever going to find those episodes.
That is so funny that you brought that up. I remember that show. And I remember some of them had gotten publicly, I don't know.
Chapter.
Yes. And then one came out and wrote a letter and was like, I didn't even have my letters on when all of this happened. Like she was trying to defend herself to get back into, it was, oh my gosh, that was a mess. Oh, what a time. Did you ever watch the show Mother Funders about the PTA moms?
I never heard of that.
That was Housewives before Housewives. To me, that was good. It was about mothers running the PTA and then there being an election period and them running against each other. It was good. And one lady had been the PTA mom for 5 years and their son was aging out and she still wanted to run. Ma'am, it was good. It was good. It was called Mother Funders. It was really good. Oh, the time, TV. What a time to be alive. Speaking of what a time to be alive, Beverly Hills. I don't even how last night's episode. There's been conversation. Sutton find somebody whose wallet is as big as yours. Erica saying, "You think you're bigger than her? My wallet is." The back and forth. What did you think of it?
I mean, Sutton is an ugly woman. And she is jealous because Dorit is prettier than her.
Oh, you meant.
I mean, that's the like.
I thought you meant
said. If Sutton thinks it's so easy to have plastic surgery and be pretty, then why doesn't she do it?
When they said that, yeah, because what Sutton either called Dorit dumb or something, and then Dorit made that comment. I was like, oh my gosh, yes.
Because all those women are pretty and they make Sutton feel insecure because Sutton has always wanted to be one of those girls, but she just never had the face for it. And I feel like it's a combination of bad bone structure, bad skin, where it's like, even if you had surgery, it ain't gonna come out right. It ain't gonna come out right.
You can definitely tell
you got a thorax. You don't have a regular body. You got a thorax build. That's why you're always wearing them 60s sheet dresses.
Not sheet dresses. Not even caftans, the sheet dresses.
Caftans and sheet dresses.
I definitely think that there is an insecurity about her. And the money part is what makes her feel better about. But my thing was, what do people want more than money? Fame. So you can talk about my money situation, but you're sitting here like me. Granted, yes, we're in a different situation, but you're sitting on the same show wanting the fame of it all too. Because as much money as you make, you don't have to do this. What they make in one season, you make almost in 1 month. So why would you be sitting here? I was like, it was interesting to watch Garcelle go, oh, okay, but not say anything. And I get it, that's your friend, but it's like, you can't get upset then when there's another set of friends and they won't check their friend either. Because for me, Garcelle has never checked Sutton, I feel like.
I think so. I agree with that. I also would say, though, Garcelle ain't gonna check Sutton because Garcelle has nobody else.
Right.
Garcelle's like, please, this is the only, like, I want to keep this check. Garcelle is at work and we all know it.
Yes, she is. She
ain't even really seeming like she having that much fun at work. Like, and I will say maybe that is why we're having like kind of an anti-Garcelle season, because Bose has come on and Bose wants to be there. Okay. Garcelle, you acting like the woman at the post office. Okay, here's your pen, hon.
Okay.
Like, you're not rude, but you're very like you're at work.
Yes.
You're at work. You're giving an at work tea. A black woman at work.
Yes.
Like, I'm gonna give you what I'm paid to give you, not shit else.
That's sit back side.
That's how she sit down at every one of them dinners. I'm like, shit, can I sit down to some free food?
Right. And I liked how when her and Bose got into it, they were able. Bose didn't back down. Garcelle kind of didn't either. And then she said in the after show, she knew once she said, "Why are you being Dorit's mouthpiece?" Like, as soon as it left her mouth, like, oh, I shouldn't have said that. But I liked how Bose is not backing down either. And I think that's why. I know they keep saying it's because, oh, she's going up for Dorit. But I think that's why Sutton and even Kyle kind of had a bit of kind of looked at Bose a little side-eye, because Bose is not backing down from them. This is what I said. This is what I meant. Like, I didn't mind Bose saying to Kathy, your sister's cold. At the same time, if Kyle would have cussed you out, I wouldn't have minded that either, because that is her sister. So I appreciate Bose coming in the way she's coming in. Do you believe her and Dorit's friendship will last?
That only time can tell.
Yeah.
Did we think Sutton's and Garcelle's would
No,
last?
we did not.
I feel like this, I feel like this is a bonding experience.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And especially like, I feel like for the ladies of the show, it's a very bonding experience.
Yeah.
So I could see it. And especially with the time that they're going through in their lives, being in their mid late 40s,
Yeah.
women in transition. I see it being an incredible bonding moment for them. I
Me
could see
too.
that. I feel like anybody would make a real friendship in that moment where like you're becoming famous with somebody, which is something very unique in and of itself. You're
Yes.
becoming a housewife, which is a very small and exclusive club. So yeah, I could see it being a real bonding experience.
I can see that too. And then even though we're supposed to be looking at what's on camera, off camera, I mean, Dorit was at Bose's birthday party, and we know that Dorit has her Karen ways. I said, you know what? Maybe Dorit will learn something big because she was surely around all them black women.
And it like I said earlier with Potomac, you've got to have those off-camera,
Yeah.
authentic friendships where it's like, oh no, we really do actually enjoy each other's company. We really do like to go to the pizza spot or,
Yeah.
have a little getaway, or our kids really do play together. There's got to be something,
Yeah.
a real friendship that we're actually watching.
I agree. What do you make of Bose and this baby? I'm not even gonna lie. When I was watching the episode, I was putting up my
Water.
clothes. Okay. You need water for this one, Alex.
How long is she?
I
Wait, how
don't.
long has she been with him?
Has it been a couple of years or so?
I didn't think it was that long.
I'll say this. When I was watching it and I was putting away clothes, this is so wild, y'all. For those of y'all that are not seeing it, Alex is off screen. This is so funny. Y'all are in on a FaceTime call with us. Can you hear me, Alex? I have to admit, I was folding clothes, putting clothes away, and Bose was talking about, oh, I'm going to have a baby. Not my baby, me and Keely's baby. And I just said, oh, Bose, we're really doing this?
I don't know how long they've been together. I mean,
Me neither, I
at
forget.
47, you know what you want.
Yeah.
So if you want to carry and have a from scratch baby at 47, then
Did you say a from scratch baby?
from scratch. From scratch.
No, I said, Bose got that
I feel
money.
like at 47, you want to come in and that joker's half done. Get like those already mixed cookies that you just got to throw in the oven.
The breakaway
Girl,
cookies.
she's like, I'm going to the grocery store and getting flour. She gonna sift the flour herself, child. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just looking like, is it because in the beginning of the season, when her and Dorit were talking, Bo said she's retired, like from the corporate life. So I'm wondering, like, not is she looking for something to do because she still does seminars and stuff, but I mean, I don't know. I guess Keely doesn't have any kids, so I guess maybe. I don't know. I know I'm 47 and I'm like, oh.
I can say this as a man with the penis, I am so sick because we had to deal with this with Dr. Greg's ass. I'm sick of men walking around. I want kids. I want kids. I want kids. If your ass gets 42 and you ain't had no kids, you don't want it.
You're right.
You like the way the words sound in your mouth.
Preach, Alex. Yeah.
You don't want any damn children, or you want somebody else to raise them, and you just be able to say you have them.
You have them, and this
Put your name on the project.
I was gonna say, yeah,
but don't do no damn work.
You carry it on my legacy.
You would have had them and raised them. Shut up. Shut all the ups. You didn't find a woman that was going to sit and be your maid, mattress, and mule. Yeah. Let's talk about maid, mattress and mule.
Yeah, you're right.
You didn't find a woman that was willing to do that, so you certainly weren't going to raise that child.
Wow, yeah.
You found a woman smart enough to either make you wear a Jimmy hat or take her pills.
Yeah.
She knew you wasn't shit.
Yeah. And
And
now
that's
Dr.
another thing. If you 40 something and a woman ain't tried to trap you with a baby, you ain't shit. You ain't shit. Greg, you ain't shit. There's a reason she said no to the fertility.
And now Craig is saying what? Last year he said 2 more years and that was it. They was only going to try for 2 more years and that was it.
You never wanted a kid. And now he want to, and then he going to use that as a reason to be funky.
I was going to say.
For the rest of the damn marriage.
And
or
that might
to leave her. You never wanted kids. You would have had them.
Yeah. Which makes me think that there may be a chance that Letitia is going to end up eventually be like, you know what? And move on.
Yeah. I could see her moving on.
Me too. She's, despite what people say, like, she's a smart woman. And I think she can hold her own. And I could see her being like, you know what? This ain't for me. This ain't, this. Oh my gosh. Beverly Hills. Yes. What a ride. This last episode.
I will say, and also we've only been on for an hour and 20 minutes, not 2 hours.
Oh, okay.
We still got more time.
Yeah,
and I know it's gonna be a long episode. Okay. But I will say what I like about Beverly Hills, is because like I'm 42, so I'm close. Them episodes they're older sisters. They're
47.
Older. Exactly. It's like older sister. Yes. Slightly older sister, but still, you can look at that life and be like, yeah, I'm in spitting distance of that.
Yeah.
I like how they are talking about their lives in transition and their lives without children and being older without, like, they're talking about empty nesters. I've never had children.
Yeah.
And I've made peace with, I'm like, I wanted them when I was younger.
That's what I was going to ask you.
I ain't Greg about it.
Okay. Yeah.
But I wanted them when I was younger until I would say 34 is when I was like, oh yeah, I think that ship might have sailed. And then at 37, when I discovered the joy of naps. And marijuana, I wouldn't be a responsible parent. I'm not waking up.
So let me ask you this. What if you met a gentleman who had a younger child? No?
No. Hell no. Hell no. Ooh, hell. Because then I got to deal with the baby mama too? No.
Okay.
Into the O.
Okay. So you don't want none of that?
None.
Okay. You said none of that, not near none of that. Okay.
No,
okay. Okay. I can see that. Well, that's why I'm looking at...
Don't even have young cousins.
None of that.
Adults only, an adults dinner ride.
That's it. An adult soiree, an adult function.
Mm-hmm.
But that's why I'm looking at Bose that way, because I know I'm 47 and I can identify where Kyle was. My husband is still here. We're not splitting, but our house was once, we had 3 children in our home. And then we end up they're going to college. We're empty nesters. So you're like.
That's so wonderful. But it also, like, I can only imagine having that. And then it's like, wow, it is quiet in here.
And yes, it is. And so for a while, for 2 years or 3 years, it was just us and the kids were home for the summer. My oldest lives in a different state. And then my son was away in college in California. And my daughter, it was away in college, her first year, Georgia State. And then she transferred to Syracuse. He graduated. So he's back home because, of course, we're not those parents that are like, oh, you graduated, you on your own. It's like, no, you need to get time to get acclimated, blah, blah, blah. We still got your bills for a year, 1 year. Remember 1 year. But he's in and out. But even that's a transition because we went from us at 9:00. Oh, we're eating for dinner. Oh, it's quiet. Oh, it's literally like just us in the house to now him being back a little. So I get what Kyle is saying. Sometimes the house is quiet. And then with her not even having Mauricio there, I can't imagine if I was going through a separation and my youngest was also getting ready to go off to school. It would be like the life that you knew, like the echoes of little kids laughing and running around. And it also reminds you of your age. Sometimes when you have little ones, you feel like a young mom. I'm just a young mom running them here, there,
Oh,
everywhere.
they keep you young.
They keep you young. And when they don't need you anymore like that, when you're not picking up their friends, when you're not doing sleepovers, when you're not on the edge of your seat because they have a project due tomorrow that they just told you about today, all of that, you're not going to the PTA meeting, seeing the other moms, you're out of the loop on different things. You don't know what cartoon is in, what Barbie doll is in. Are they like these dolls now? It makes you look at your own, like, what is my life now outside of my children? What am I doing now outside of my children? For some, their children being their legacy is enough. For me, it was like, children are a beautiful thing, but that's not my greatest accomplishment for me personally. So you got to refine your identity. I had a friend, she had 3 little kids. Of course, they're growing up. When they were like they weren't, now they're all adults. They've all graduated school. But when they were like in elementary school, she said she'll never forget. Her husband took her to the mall and said, I'm taking you on a shopping spree. Where do you want to go first? She said, I stood in the middle of the mall and started crying because I didn't know my favorite color, what food I like. Do I really like French fries, or is it that my kids like French fries? Do I really like these kinds of shirts? Who am I? And she was determined not to lose herself again. So I can identify with Kyle with that.
However, Kyle also needs to take responsibility. You walked out of your marriage into a lesbian relationship.
Okay, let's get into that, because I had never thought about that possibility until I saw people talking about it. Like, Mauricio may be trying to get back at Kyle because Kyle may have, I don't know if stepped out first is the word, but basically I can't decide what I want, so I'm going to keep you in limbo. And he's kind of like, no, we're not doing that. I don't know.
Honestly, like, she's come out and said, I'm not sure about my sexuality to
Yes.
my kids. So it was a lesbian relationship. She had a lesbian relationship with Morgan. She doesn't want to talk about it on the show anymore. And I don't know if they broke up or whatever, but it's like, you can't think that Mauricio is going to sit around and wait forever while you figure out what you want. You've already gone out publicly, because I think y'all had we live our own lives. We present as a united front for years until you stepped out and went public. And now he's like, well, shit, I have a show. Because also remember, he has his Netflix show. She has Housewife. So she has shit to promote. He has shit to promote. I feel like this was about promotion of the TV shows, and that's why the articles came out and didn't have shit to do with a get back.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. I can see that they were living separate lives for years, but presented this united. Yeah, and Kyle said with her therapist this week, what she was kind of waiting to see, basically him to sow his wild oats and then maybe come back. But maybe it was her saying, let me see, I'm having this attraction. Let me see what this is, even though they were already living their own separate lives, like you said, because let's face it, there's a lot of money at stake for them splitting up, so I could totally see that. I feel like there's a part of Kyle that's ready to be done too, but she's scared to look at that part because everyone, I get, she is of course probably sad because the life she once knew is over, but I think there's a part of her that wants to be free and explore this other side of her, but she's afraid to acknowledge that side because she's so used to the life that she has. She's afraid to fully embrace that side, whether it's with Morgan or...
Like Garcelle said, if you want to be a lesbian, be a lesbian.
Yeah.
Be a lesbian. Mauricio's moved on, and
a couple times.
It ain't wrong. You moved on first. You can't expect him to wait forever.
Yeah, I had never considered that until I heard people talk about that, and now you saying that again. I had never even really thought about it being her also. Sometimes you just look at it like, oh, it's the man, and it's not always, the man or what have you. But once he got out, once he said, see us free, he said, I'm not coming back. It's over.
I think that's what she is realizing. Like, you let a rich daddy loose on the West Hollywood streets, baby, you ain't never getting him back. He
Never.
was already drowning in women that wanted him, that were willing to be the other woman. Now he's got legitimate women. Legitimate women. Now he can be out there free to, oh, please, girl.
Him and
54
PK.
at that prime age.
Look, him and PK out there with the summer house people, spritzing champagne and stuff.
Yep.
Do you think PK and Dorit's divorce is real? There are some that feel like it's a storyline.
We don't care what Carlos King thinks. He's the only one that I've heard that thought their divorce wasn't real. And like many other things, he's turned out to be wrong. I think their divorce is very real. I think when a man gets sober and leaves his wife, that says so much. Because normally it is the man.
Yeah.
But when he gets sober and is like, no, and like completely and utterly like him, where he's like, it's not going to be like that anymore. He's completely and utterly, he is done with her.
That's what I think so too. And I think two things can be true. The storyline, I mean, they're going through a divorce and they're like, we might as well get paid to tell it on TV.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's a storyline, but it's a reality show of what's going on in their life. I feel like that break-in was too much. I feel like I feel like there's a lot of cracks.
Yeah, already.
And so I feel like she will never trust him again because she doesn't know if it's because of his gambling debts that happened. Because that's been a rumor.
Yes, it has been.
But we don't know whether it's a true rumor or whether it's a false rumor. It is a rumor.
Yes.
But also crazier things have happened. Like I would never live in Los Angeles.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would never live in Los Angeles. When I saw that nice house with that tiny little fence around it and you could just walk up, I was like, in the name of unsecured, hell no.
And they all were hit at one point. Remember when Kyle's bags were stolen?
Yeah.
So it's like they were all hit. And then to me, it would be like, you don't even know if it's an inside job, if it's somebody that's working for you or been around you telling someone else, you know?
You have too many people in and out of that house.
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
To live there. Like the Kardashians, those houses were sets because that way because think about it, the crew comes, they get food delivered there.
Yeah.
And then too, they'll have significant others. And others.
Yeah.
So, but I think that, because I mean, Garcelle still talks about those rumors. She's like, I'm bringing it up.
Yes.
But also, there's a way where she's like, I'm not blaming Dorit. I'm blaming Dorit's husband.
Well, that's what, because I can see a world where PK set it up and did not tell Dorit. So it would be very
And Dorit wasn't home at the wrong time. Dorit wasn't supposed to be there.
Yeah, I could see that. And then, when in their counseling session, when he said she's not the same woman I used to know, it's like, you got to know that y'all have had kids. Y'all have different responsibilities now. You're away half the time.
This is another thing. I think he's British and money's British. They don't it's a different culture where they don't raise their children.
That's right.
I do not. He's like, why aren't these kids in boarding school? Why are you insisting on raising them? This is very American. You send your kids off like Carolyn Stansberry.
Yes.
Off. He wants his wife by his side. He married a wife, not a mother.
Oh, yeah.
Dorit is an American woman who wanted to raise her children.
Yeah, I could see that.
He wanted a woman that was going to send them off to boarding school. She might have said, I'm going to do that. And then when it came time to, she's like,
I'm tired. Right. Or I'll still be able to go out. And then it's like, I'm tired. I didn't been like, I've been with my kids. Yeah. Like they will drain you. Like Marlo said, today has drained me. Sometimes they can drain you. So yeah, I definitely believe he's done too. It's like, and I hate to say it this way, but it's almost like he looks like he's got a second wind. Like, oh, okay. BK, I see. There was something else I was going to ask you about Beverly Hills. No, I was going to make a statement. I don't need to, if I see a 4th episode with Erica getting furniture, listen, ma'am. I said, so this is episode 3 where we see furniture getting delivered.
Erica, I mean, this independence, independent.
I want it for her, but also I just don't. Okay. I
What
will
are
say
you independently doing?
right.
What are you doing?
To me, she's a good peanut gallery. I wish some of the stuff that she says in her confessional, she would say in the scene.
Yes.
But it's like her, and then her mom came. I said it would have been interesting if Sutton had have taken.
Mama.
Well, it's a reflection of Sutton and her mom almost, except Erica speaks up. But Erica talks about the way her mom was with her, which is it would have been Erica would have known how to navigate Reba because she has her own Reba, her mom. So, but yeah, her mom. It was like, oh my God! So now we got to see the mama watch you get your house decorated, girl.
They are giving Erica an easy edit because she's had she's given Erica.
Okay,
I mean,
you know what?
Well, actually, she's taken. That's got to be a hell of a situation because you really like somebody just literally covered you in stolen shit.
Yeah, your whole life was that
was stolen.
Life. Yeah,
and it's like. Even the sandwich? I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I already made it. I'm not going to throw it out. What do you mean?
Right.
101 million? I mean, that is,
yeah. And then to have it play out. So you're right. They're giving her an easier edit this season because it's been her the last year, but the other 2 for sure. So she's looking better than ever.
Because that is like you may never be able to really retire. Like you can never get married again because of that. It's just like and then it's how am I going to retire? Like you think you're fine, you're on the show, but now you're like $101 million. Like just the money you have to spend on lawyers for.
Yes. And
he ruined her life.
I think now that you say it like that, yeah.
What is left of her life, he will negatively impact her every day until she dies. Unless, I mean, maybe in 10, like 5, it's 5, she's doing 5 to 10. She may not be in prison, but this is 5 to 10.
So do you think that she's waiting, like she's not moving forward with her divorce because she's waiting for him to just like die?
I mean, there's like, I don't even know how that divorce. I think she is divorced.
No, well, I thought that. I have to go back and check. For some reason, I thought she wasn't. Yeah, you please let me know because okay, because I'm like, wait a minute, is she still Mrs. Girardi? Because then I have
let's see.
As the people listening are probably yelling at us, we can't hear y'all. Sorry.
No, she's not still married.
So she is divorced.
Was finalized.
I did not know all this time. I did not know that. I thought she was still married. How did I miss that? I totally missed that.
No, they're okay. Hold on. No, as of January 10th, they're still legally married. Okay. This divorce will probably take so long, he'll probably be dead.
That's what I'm wondering.
All the debt and all of the scam debt.
Oh.
I don't know how you deal with that. Because he stole so much.
Yes. And so much and from people that like, not that it would make it better, but if it was from corporations, you know what I'm saying?
A victimless crime.
Yes.
Like if you steal from a corporation rather than someone that got burned and they got this money for the surgeries they're going to have for the rest of their lives.
Alex, that's the story that always sticks out to me the most. That gentleman, like, he
And
lost.
just horrific. And it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, that's a story to follow.
Yeah, it is. And it's like a part of you is like, let's say, okay, if she didn't know, I can understand how she felt like I'm fighting for my life over here. I don't like, but also,
The thing is, she was forced into it. She is she's an unwilling co-conspirator
yeah,
because she received the ill-gotten gains.
yeah, yeah. Like you said, her life is covered in stolen things. That was a good analogy, like her making the sandwich. Like, I made it. I'm not going to throw it away. This is like,
I knew this beautiful Black woman. She worked next to me when I lived in New York in the building next to me. And she told me she was dating this guy and they moved in together and he put some bags in her closet. And one day she was cleaning out her closet and found out they were big bags of marijuana. And she put them out that night because she was like, if the police had come to my
yeah,
apartment, I would have been in fucking prison.
yeah.
And so it's the same thing with Erica, except just with hundreds of millions of dollars.
Dollars. Right. Oh my, I can't
So
even.
she's just lucky she's not ending up going to jail. But these lawsuits are like, because the company, everybody's going to try to get their money. The
Yeah.
law firm is now defunct. I mean, it
Right.
is a nightmare. And this is going to haunt her forever.
And I forgot that, yeah, she was sued too. You saying that, it's like, duh, that's right. She was sued as well because these people want to get their money.
They want the earring, like she had to lose the
Yeah.
earrings.
Yeah.
Then you also have to worry about the tax consequences.
Yeah.
Because
And
the government gonna want they shit. So look, that level of hell, that
yeah.
level of bureaucratic hell.
And then she couldn't even sell her stuff. Remember, she was going to try to sell her purse and stuff, but the judge blocked that. So it was like,
Yeah.
oh, wow. Mm. Okay, I want to move on to one last franchise that's not out yet, but I want your thoughts on the trailer and the pictures. And I want to know if you're looking forward to it. The Real Housewives of Atlanta. You just did a black woman sigh.
At work.
At work.
And then child, that's giving me the at work feel. I am gravely concerned.
Okay.
Deeply
Oof.
concerned.
I felt the spirit of the ancestors when you said I'm gravely concerned.
It's real concern, not that shady concern. We should have had it has been time to do crop rotation on Atlanta. And the fact that they had to kick Kenya off for being an asshole, it's like, girl, why did you bring her back? Kenya's been ain't shit since the aughts. We've watched Kenya be ain't shit for a decade. We've watched Kenya run every man out of her life. I'm tired of watching Kenya fail. I'm tired of watching Kenya fall down the stairs of life and her trying to sex shame this woman in 2025. Child, please. Here's the thing. She has a man that wants to Snapchat, that wants to pay $1,400 for her pussy. You can't get shit for yours.
Kenya went out sad. Whether you people like Kenya or not, I've never been a Kenya fan, but I will say, even I was like, you know what? Dang, Kenya. Like, I won't deny what you contributed to Atlanta, but this is sad. Like, this is sad the way you went out. And it lets you know that whatever, like, I had heard before Kenya came back that they weren't sure if they were going to bring her back. Then they end up bringing her back. So to me, I almost feel like because these new girls coming in, did you feel like you had to do something to make a mark because you were, in essence, fighting for your job? And it turned out not in your favor. People think they're going to let her come back the following season. What do you think?
I think they're going to let her be a friend of.
Okay.
I could see a friend of position. I also feel like they're going to see how she does, how many people want her to come back,
How the new cast does.
how and where the season goes.
Yeah. You were one of the few who, like myself, watched New York and watched Shamia's interview with Candy.
And I will say that, like, bringing on Shamia to replace Candy, Shamia is the embodiment of second banana, friend of, runner up.
Yes.
She has no business being a main character, and you're not going to get main character out of her. What you're going to get is a fresh cup of disappointment. And these new girls,
one thing you said about Shamia in that interview is it was why, because you said she's always almost just been there. I've always been second, like always. Oh, I was right there. I was in this singing group and this happened. I was there and this happened. I was right there. And it was every time she told a story, I thought it was going to be like, oh, this one worked out for her. And it was like, no, it didn't. I got signed to do a Tyler Perry play. Right before they go out to do the play, we're not going to do your leg of the tour. Like, it was constantly, that's what her life was like. But the way she talked about being a peach, you could tell she's wanted to be a peach holder for a while. It was her husband that didn't, which makes me wonder what's different this season that your husband would say, okay, if all these years he said, no, I don't want to do it. You can just do it. What's different this season when you have all of this money? Candy said Shamia was the richest out of all of them.
Well, now the shady part of me says, oh, this sounds like a Kelsey Grammer move. Because Kelsey Grammer distracted Camille. He said, let me give you something to do.
Yeah.
So you're busy.
Yeah.
While I'm in New York on Broadway. And he found a new broad. She got her way.
Didn't she? Didn't she? Yes. Yes, he did.
That could be all right, I'm going to let you on so now you can start making your own money. So when we get this divorce, you won't just be out here, you ain't got shit. Because like Lenny let
Lisa, yeah.
He let her on because he knew I'm going to get a divorce and I want you to be making your own money so I don't have to give you as much.
Yep. So you'll find something to do.
So maybe it could be that. He could be trying to cheat in peace.
Oh.
Or he could be getting ready to put her out. Or a mix. It's Atlanta. They do-si-do with those marriages. 1 minute you're married to Portia, next minute you're married to Shamia. And also Shamia needs to watch out for Portia. Portia will get in your pool, come out with your husband.
Look, if you don't sound like shout out to Rodney, Portia walked in, she walked out with that woman's husband and Hennessy. You said she'll get in the pool and leave with your husband.
Got in the pool, walked out with her husband.
Oh my gosh. I am choosing to open my heart to Atlanta because it's what brought me into Housewives, watching these Black women that look like me. And I'm choosing Alex. I'm trying to have an open heart. I'm waiting for them to come. I don't want to be disappointed. Oh, I don't want to be disappointed. But you think I will be.
I don't have hope.
Okay.
I feel like the reaction to the trailer, the outfit. I feel like the reaction to the trailer, I feel like everybody already they might turn it on and they're going to give it 5 minutes and be like, girl, I'm watching something else.
Well, one thing I'll say, when you said the trailer, the outfits, on your episode with shout out to Chris and again shout out to Kempire, of that episode of Pop Roast, when you pulled up the different seasons and the different looks, versus the way that this was shot and their different looks, it's like it's not giving vintage housewives. It's giving something else.
And that's the thing. We needed to give vintage housewives the upper echelon, the anti-Mia. We want to give more of Karen's illusion.
Yes. You're right. Yeah. Okay.
Karen's grand dame illusion, not her grand marinier reality.
Right. Right. It was, and it makes me wonder, did they shoot it like that because they're trying to introduce a new era of housewives starting with Atlanta?
I think so.
I just
But new doesn't have to mean ratchet.
that well that's the yeah. The like you said, it's like the production of it all just didn't give housewife at all. But I'm still holding out hope. Oh no, my gosh, I'm still holding out hope. These new
I'm sure. Oh, God. But also,
you said I'm still. Oh God.
they brought Phaedra on.
What did Drew say? You only filmed 2 episodes.
Why did they need to bring her, girl? If they got to bring on Phaedra, who we know adds nothing, I feel like it's a law. I'm not hopeful.
I mean, and I was like, they didn't even wait until the next season. Not only did they bring her on the last few episodes, she's like marketed like she's back, you know?
We've got, they had to bring Cynthia. Like, I feel like they're trying to prop up a lot. Yeah. Like, okay, get Phaedra, get Cynthia, try to bring some nostalgia in. You know, we're having, and I feel like Portia, you know what it is? I don't think people, because of Mia.
Okay.
I feel like people are going to look at Portia's marriage like they look at Mia's plotline. Like, girl, you married this man around your daughter and you didn't know him from Adam's house cat. And now you found out he's broke and ain't really a Nigerian citizen and about to be deported.
Okay.
It's a skeezer tea. It's a skeezer tea. It's not of housewife. It's of love and hip hop.
Yes.
It's musical chairs pregnancy. It's not protective of the children enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that is it's a pipeline to Mia.
Not a pipeline to Mia.
Now, the Portia to Mia pipeline. And
not the Portia to Mia pipeline.
Pipeline.
Okay, that is good. The Portia to Mia pipeline. Why do I want that to be the title of the episode? Portia to Mia pipeline.
That's what has to be careful because you've got Pilar. And the thing is, like, if you were single and nobody, it would be the perfect plot line. But because you were married less than 18 months and you got a kid.
Yeah. I said PJ's the one that called ice on Simon. She said, I'm tired of this. She got into Portia's phone.
She said,
Hello.
I am.
Hello, listen. I need y'all to come get somebody. Gave him the whole rundown. Speaking of, this is so wild. Did you hear the rumor that Kourtney, her son Mason had a child? I'm seeing that all over TikTok. And he's only 14. Look it up. Look up Mason. Is it what's Scott's last name?
Mason Disick, child.
Yeah. Did you see anything? Because I was on TikTok and fell into a rabbit hole. I was like, what is this? Are y'all lying?
Yeah, there are rumors.
Yeah. Talking about he had a Finsta Snapchat or something and was spilling all the tea, and then it was like shut down in minutes.
Oh, wow.
I said, the boy is 1 year old, but of course he's not. Of course he's older, but that.
Yeah, I wonder if it's true.
That's what I'm wondering. Like, I don't know why that made me think, speaking of children, but yeah. Oh my gosh, Alex, I have enjoyed you so much.
Yes, I
I'm
had a ball.
I'm going to go on record saying this will not be Alex's last time here. Alex has made me clutch my pearls more than once, and I knew I was getting that. So I was already excited. I was already excited. I was like, I better get the Alex that I see on his YouTube. And I knew I was going to get that Alex anyway. Do you have anything coming up that you want the people to know about? Any shows? Well, I'm sorry. I just have to get this out. Kempire, you opened up for Kempire in when he was in California. He says, Taria, I want you to open up for me in DC, and you're going to have your own segment. Alex opened up for me in California. Y'all, I watched Alex's set and panicked. I was like, so I'm not going to be able to do that. Like, Alex was so good, so funny. I was laughing. I sent it to my husband. It was so like, and at that time, even though I knew that you were a comedian, but it didn't dawn on me, you're a comedian. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but like, I was like, oh, wow, this is Alex in his element. So you had me cracking up, and I'm sorry to interrupt. But so yes, do you have any shows or anything coming up that you want the people to know about? Look forward to any of that?
Just Pop Roast on Saturday on my YouTube, Alex Rogers.
I love Pot Roast. You and Chris, like the perfect combination. Like, I like when you say something wild and Chris is like, I'm just here. Like, I'm just here, which Chris will be on next week, by the way. I was like, oh, I'm going to get a two for one. I was a little bit jelly when y'all were recording with Kempire. I was like, I want to be there because they're having a good old conversation. Y'all really had a good, well-rounded conversation again that I really enjoyed. I enjoy Pop Roast. I enjoy you. If y'all have not already, which if you know who I am, you definitely know who Alex is. Again, Alex gave Kyle her storyline first half of this season. He was how many housewives of Beverly Hills? 7. He was the 8th housewife.
The 8th housewife. Oh my God. I'm going to do a thumbnail of that.
Yes, you were or as Kempire's he has on his voice thing. Did you watch the Escape SWV show when the mom goes, I am the 5th member. Alex says, yes. I am the 8th housewife. Because they used you long enough. She could have been arguing with you instead of Dorit. I'm right here, boo. What's up? But thank you so much for coming. I appreciate you so much, Alex. Y'all, make sure y'all show Alex some love, and we will talk to y'all later. See ya.